One of the ink brands whose inks I've really enjoyed in the last couple of years is Dominamt Industry. They make an amazing array of inks that sort of cover a huge range of properties, but my favorite inks are those that have, firstly, a great color, great performance, but also tend to be a little bit more safe, or sort of, you know, no shimmer, not heaps of sheen, those kinds of things. Just really beautiful inks that look great on the page and perform beautifully. And today I'm looking at their ink called The Moon. This is a beautiful dusty blue ink which I have absolutely fallen in love with. I'm going to show it on some different kinds of paper, a bunch of writing samples, water test, all that kind of stuff to see how it goes. So please like and subscribe, hit the notifications button, and consider becoming a member of this channel, where for a small monthly fee you'll get early access to my videos, priority comments, and eventually some members only Q&As. But right now, let's look at Dominamt Industries ink, The Moon. So this is how this beautiful ink comes packaged. It says Painter Series there, number 122 standard, The Moon. Dominamt Industry make some beautiful, beautiful inks. I've written with so many of them, and they're really lovely. And the packaging sort of, you know, it's good. It's sort of like, I don't love the bag, but I see the point. And then it's a really nice sort of smaller bottle here. It's a smaller bottle, but it is still 25 milliliters of ink. Nice solid heavy solid bottle there, the D on the top there for Dominamt Industry. And this is the ink on a coloring card. So it's a rich dusty blue, as I put it. It's got some really lovely shading, but even in the lighter shades, that teals and greys that are underlying really come through in a beautiful way. It's a robust ink. It looks great on the page. It reads very, very well. But it's got so much personality. Like, you never ever mistake this ink for being a regular ballpoint blue or anything like that. It's just got so much personality. And here it is on Tomoe River paper. So this is the standard 52 GSM Tomoe River paper, the old stock I should say, which is great. I had it in two pens, my Diplomat Elox with a medium nib and the Santini Nonagon with the Architect nib. This is a big wet pen, puts down tons and tons of ink. See there on the swatch, we're getting a bit of that sort of black copper sheen, which is really nice to see. Water resistance, it sort of, the water got away from this ink, but you can see it actually, you know, you can still make out the writing. And yes, it looks great on this page. It shades beautifully on Tomoe River. I've loved journaling with this ink. Because of that personality. Like, when you get the hits of the lighter shading, like that Santini's a pretty wet pen, but occasionally, like, I'll bring it up nice and close for you. Like if you look at the T cross there, get little hits of that, you know, shading. It's really lovely. So this ink, as I said, comes in a 25 milliliter bottle, and it retails for $17 US or $23.95 Australian for that bottle. Not super inexpensive, but certainly much better than you know, brands like Wearing All, for instance, are much more expensive. In terms of dry time, 10 and 30 was still pretty wet. By 60 seconds, it was pretty much dry in that writing test there. If we look at the reverse of this page, you'll see the swatch obviously will come through, that will start to sort of, it's not even bleeding through, just like, it's just eating through. But none of the writing has come through from the standard writing, even with that big wet Santini fountain pen. There's just a little bit of like bleed where I've gone over the line a number of times. So it's okay. It's come up really well on this, you know, Tomoe River paper. It is quite a saturated dusty blue, so we are getting quite a lot of ghosting. But generally speaking, it's good performance. The lines are all clean and tight, and as I said, like, I just think it shades beautifully on this paper. Looking at it here on some lower end paper, on the, this is just the Spyrex student notepad paper, which is the lowest end paper I showed on here. There's a bit of feathering, and it's a much duller sort of grey blue. This sort of colour, not as attractive to me as the colour on more fountain pen friendly paper. And the reverse, there's quite a lot of bleed there. But this is not fountain pen friendly paper, so that's kind of what you can expect. Now here on the standard copy paper, 80 GSM copy paper, once again, it's that slightly muted, dull colour, but we're getting a bit more of the the grey, dark, almost blue-black kind of tone. In fact, I've got blue-blacks that are not as dark as this. But once again, a tiny little bit of feathering, particularly in the wetter Architect nib there from Santini. But generally speaking, it's kind of passable. But yeah, still quite a lot of bleed there. And then here we have it on Reveiw. So this is like, if it performs on Reveiw, it's, in my opinion, it's good. Reveiw is like baseline fountain pen friendly paper. And you can see the shading and the lines are all nice there, nice and tight, as a beautiful shading. Like, I think it looks beautiful there. Once again, the water got away from me, but you can see that shading there in the swatch with the nice dark, rich colors, nice and wet. And yeah, it looks really beautiful here. Like in that writing there, that's why I love this ink. That's why I got this ink. I got a sample first. I purchased it from Desk Bandit here in Australia. And then that's where I got the bottle from as well. And it was the sample in this pen that made me fall in love with this ink. If we look at the reverse of that page, once again, nothing has bled through. A little couple of spots from the swatch there, but nothing has come through. Even when the water got onto it, like, it's really stayed pretty good. This is a high quality ink. It's not an inexpensive ink, but super high quality. Little color comparison now. Waterman Serenity Blue, just to put it into context, very, very blue, but like that dusty kind of blue. And then my favorite blue, the Diamine Oxide Blue, is a lot darker and a lot more kind of like leaning into the vibrant royal blue kind of feel. Same as Robert Oster's School Blue. And Wearing All Phantom of the Opera, which is a nice, more sort of vibrant, sort of leaning blue. Some of my favorite kind of dusty blues are things like Robert Oster Great Southern Ocean, which I think shares quite a lot in common here. Then we've got Pilot de Roshizuku Tsukiyo, which doesn't quite lean as dark into the greys, but still has those sort of tealy undertones. And then two more sort of bluey ones. We've got Deep Dune Water Blau from Ackerman, and then Anderillium Swordfish Blue. So these dusty blues are a favorite of mine. If I'm not using a blue black, if I want a blue, I kind of end up leaning into this a bit more recently. And I have to say, The Moon from Dominamt Industry definitely is ranking very highly there. So do I recommend this ink? Absolutely, I recommend this ink. I think it is a very high quality ink. It's got some, basic sort of water fastness. So like, if you get it wet, you will still be able to read what you have written. It's got a really rich, dark tone. It reads beautifully on the page. It's not so dark that the contrast is high, but it's high enough to be perfectly legible, even in the light, especially in the lighter shading. I think it's fantastic. I think this is great for professional use. If you want something with a bit of personality, it's not going to stand out so much on the page that it's going to attract attention. But if someone's reading your writing in this ink, they're going to know that it is not just a regular ballpoint pen or another rollerball or, Waterman Serenity Blue or something like that. It's a beautiful ink, packed with personality from a brand doing beautiful things. It performs really, really well. Lots to love about Dominamt Industry, The Moon. So thank you for watching today's video. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notifications button. And please consider becoming a member of this channel. In the meantime, enjoy your pens, your writing, and I'll talk to you soon.